Hi, board members. It looks like there's still some technical difficulties on EHD's end. Maybe it's changed now. Let's check in. Anita, can you hear me?
I can.
Hey, good. So it's working on the platform, but I'm glad it's working on your end.
Yeah, sorry. I think it's because I didn't have my headphones plugged in and I was trying to use the regular computer audio.
Great.
Okay.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning, Vice Chair Richards. So yeah, I guess, Anita, you can let me know when you are good to go because we have a board quorum.
Okay. I don't have anyone else in the waiting room at the moment. Up to you if you'd like to give a few more minutes or not.
Yeah, I think we can get started and folks will roll in as they come since we have a quorum and we actually said we would take only an hour to do this. So let's try to stick to that. Great. Okay. So assuming everyone can hear me well, getting some nods from the board. Great. I will call this April 5th, 2024 Air Quality Control Board meeting to order. The time is it's 10 here. It's 10 for you. I'm in Texas, so it's 10:01 a.m. Mountain Time. And Ms. Esther-Mijo, would you please call the roll and record whether each member is in attendance?
Okay. Member Armijo?
Here.
Member Kalman? Absent. Member Eberline? Absent. Member Galuski?
Here.
Vice Chair Richards? Vice Chair
Anita, I'm here.
Oh, good. And Chair Paul?
Present. So we have a quorum with 4 members present, and members Kalman and Eberline are not here. Okay, so thank you so much for the roll call. A few brief housekeeping notes. First, I'd like to remind everyone that this is a virtual meeting, which brings with it the possibility of technical difficulties. Please know we're committed to making our meetings accessible, and we'll do everything we can to make sure everyone is able to fully participate. I would like to discuss public comment, which is covered in the agenda. The Air Quality Control Board will hear public comment. Please use the chat function in Zoom to sign up to speak at any time during the meeting, or raise your hand when I ask if anyone would like to give comment. If you are calling in and would like to give comment, press *9 to raise your hand. Commenters will be called on in the order that they signed up. Public comment will be limited to 5 minutes or less, depending upon the number of commenters. Your time will start when you start speaking. The chair, I will let you know when your time has concluded. Please note that we will only hear public comment during the opportunity on the agenda in an effort to keep the meeting running smoothly and efficiently. So now I can move on to our approval of today's special meeting agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I so move.
Moved by member Armijo. Can I have a second?
A second.
Ooh, it's a tie. Seconded by Vice Chair Richards. If there isn't any discussion on that, then Ms. Esther-Mijo, would you please call the roll?
Member Armijo?
Yes.
Member Kalman? Absent. Member Eberline? Absent. Member Galuski?
Yes.
Vice Chair Richards?
Yes.
Chair Paul?
Yes. So the motion passes. 4 yes, 2 absent. Great. Now we can move on to public comment. I'd like to remind everyone to please state your name and affiliation for the record, and we ask that commenters please keep your remarks no more than 5 minutes. Ms. Ostermijo, has anyone signed up to give public comment?
Here, give me one moment to double check. No, Madam Chair, I have no one with their hands raised.
Okay, with no public comment and no one's in the chat either.
No, Madam Chair.
Great. No one in the chat. Not great. I'm happy to take public comment, but in the interest of time, moving on to item 4. First, before we get into our main business today, we want to make a statement regarding our attendance at the March 22 meeting of the Environmental Improvement Board, the joint meeting to hear the request for stay filed by the New Mexico Automotive Dealers Association and Automundo de Garcia in the matter of EIB 2356R. Board members attended this meeting regarding the petition for a stay. The meeting was anticipated to last a few hours, and I believe it was noticed just to last 1 hour. And then it lasted all day. So we believe that we lost a full quorum approximately 4:30 p.m. And then we were unable to take action. I know I was not in the meeting anymore after that, and the vice chair took over. EIB could also not take action because the meeting was supposed to last only a short period of time. It lasted the whole day. The building was closing, and they wanted to deliberate. So a recording was made available, and we asked this during the meeting, and I made it available. I sent it out to the board, and I know the council also emailed it to the board this week. So that's where we're at in terms of making sure that folks have that there was a record available for when there wasn't quorum in the virtual meeting. Item B now is for me to ask board members if they've actually reviewed this record. So I'm going to ask each board member for their affirmation that they have watched and reviewed the record of the March 22nd, 2024 EIB meeting so that they may rely upon the record as a basis for their decision today. We'll start with Member Galuski. Member Galuski, have you watched and reviewed the record from the March 22nd, 2024 EIB meeting, and will you rely upon it for your decision today?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Member Armijo, have you watched and reviewed the record from the March 22nd, 2024 EIB meeting, and will you rely upon it to make your decision today?
Yes, I attended half the meeting and the other half I did view on the YouTube, and I will.
Thank you so much. Vice Chair Richards, have you watched and reviewed the record from the March 22nd, 2024 EIB meeting, and will you rely upon it to make your decision today?
Yes, I was actually present during the entire meeting until EIB broke for a closed session. So I think I captured everything just being there present.
Thank you. And then the same question to myself. Yes, I watched and reviewed the record. I actually rewatched the closing arguments this morning and attended most of it. And I will rely upon that record from the YouTube and my attendance for my decision today.
Madam Chair,
I'm
Member
too.
Kalman is here.
Oh, Ms. Member Kalman. Member Kalman is
Sorry, I was 2 minutes late.
We're trying to actually make this happen in an hour, and we want to leave time for our deliberations.
Yes, my answer is yes.
Great. Member Kalman also reviewed the record from the March 22nd meeting, and you'll use that in your decision today. Great. Okay, so I want to give the parties, if any of them are here, an opportunity to, if they have an issue with this way of getting quorum for our deliberations, to state that. Give everyone a minute. I see council's hand is raised, so I'm going to just go to council for now.
Okay. Madam Chair, I just wanted to point out that section 20.11.82.32C allows board members who did not attend a hearing to review. The rule says a transcript, But, it's the same thing, review the record. And so I believe that there should not be a problem with the board's proceeding.
Thank you for that, counsel. Great. Hearing no issues from the parties, I think we should move on to item C. So item C is deliberations on the motion for the stay filed by the New Mexico Automotive Dealers Association, Automundo de Garcia, in the matter of the petition to repeal existing Rule 2011-104 and MAC emission standards for new motor vehicles and adopt proposed replacement 2011-104 new motor vehicle emission standards, Air Quality Control Board petition 2023-01. So first, we should decide whether or not to go into closed session. According to OMA, we're supposed to vote to do that. I will open the floor for discussion as to whether or not to go into closed session to deliberate. Would any board members like to discuss? Do you think we should go into a closed session or deliberate in this
This is
meeting? Okay, Member Armijo, then Member Galuski.
Well, I don't see any reason to go into closed session. I think I'm ready to go ahead and approach this right now, unless somebody has some deep inner feelings about having a closed session.
Member Galuski.
I agree with that. That's fine. I don't mind going to a closed session, but I also don't need to.
Okay. Any other thoughts from the board on closed session or not? I'll let counsel go after I say. I believe there's so I think this is how EIB is doing it because there's an appeal. There's some legal element to this. I'm going to let counsel fill us in on that. Please, Ms. Cedillo Lopez.
Yes, just because there already is an appeal and there might be questions that you might have, a need for confidential legal advice, that would be the only justification for going into closed session. So if that comes up during the deliberations, you could ask for a closed session at that time. But, it's totally up to you. But there is justification since an appeal has already started to go into closed session for the purposes of seeking confidential legal advice.
Based on that, I think that might be a good idea because otherwise it's complicated for us to. I think it might be quicker and more efficient to just do it that way, since I will at least have one question about the appeal, than to start half in public and then move it into a room, because I know Anita needs a minute to set everything up on Zoom too. So that would be my thought. I don't know if members Kalman or Vice Chair Richards have any thoughts on this.
This is Member Kalman. That makes sense to me too. And I'd make a motion to go into closed session.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to go into closed session to deliberate. Is there a second to that motion?
This is Vice Chair Richards. I'll second that.
Okay, moved by Member Kalman, seconded by Vice Chair Richards to go into closed session to deliberate. Any further discussion? Is that okay with Member Armijo's? Okay with it? Seems to be shaking his head. I see a nod from Member Galuski too. Okay, great. Okay, Ms. Esther Armijo, would you please call the roll?
Member Armijo?
Yes.
Member Kalman?
Yes.
Member Eberlein? Absent. Member Galuski?
Yes.
Vice Chair Richards?
Yes.
Chair Paul?
Yes. So the motion to go into closed session passes 5 yeses, 1 absence.
Okay.
Great. So I think we can now have you put us into a closed session
Breakout
on
room.
Zoom. Breakout room.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Give me just a few moments. I gotta set it up. Okay. Manually.
While she's doing that, I should say that I'd rather be with Member Eberlein on a nice cruise than here.
Yeah. On the other side of the world. Lucky guy.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Alrighty, you should be able to go in and
All right. Ms. Estiarmijo, we are back from our closed session, so we can go back to the meeting. Excellent. Okay, so we were in a closed session. The scope of our discussion included the board asking questions about the appeal, receiving information from counsel, discussing, and now we're ready to deliberate any further if necessary, and vote. So I'm going to open up the floor to talk about the stay of Clean Cars 2.
Well, after our discussion in there, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion if that pleases the chair.
Yep, hearing you're open to it. Member Armijo.
All right. I move that we deny the motion for stay because the petitioners did not meet the criteria required for a stay.
Any second or further discussion from other members?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, so the motion by Member Armijo to deny the motion for a stay of Clean Cars 2, and then a second from Member Kalman. So, and I believe you put some phrasing in there about the meeting the 4 criteria to grant a stay, and that does anyone else want to say anything, or do we all feel confident in that they didn't meet those 4 criteria?
I feel confident. I have no need for further discussion personally.
Yeah, great. Okay.
I feel like I'm ready to vote on that, Chair.
Okay.
Madam Chair, can I just make a quick question?
Sure.
If we vote yes on this motion, that means we're denying the stay, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sometimes it gets a little confusing with the wording.
Yes, I appreciate you clarifying that. So so that's a motion on the floor from Member Armijo to deny the stay, and it's seconded by Member Kalman. Ms. Estiarmijo, would you please call the roll?
Member Armijo,
Yes.
Member Kalman,
Yes.
Member Eberlein, absent. Member Galuski,
Yes.
Vice Chair Richards,
Yes.
Chair Paul.
Yes. So the motion for stay is denied. That was 5 yeses and 1 absence. Okay, so now we can move on to the next item in our
Madam Chair,
agenda.
would you like for me to prepare the order?
Oh, yes, thank you, Council. Please do prepare an order for my signature.
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Yeah, just 2 more things here. Item 5, any other business to discuss? Opening this up to the board. Seeing heads shaking and none nodding, I will move on to item 6, which is adjourning the meeting. Look at that. We actually did it in under an hour. I will now adjourn the April 5th, 2024 Air Quality Control Board special meeting at 10:40 a.m. Our next regular meeting is Wednesday, April 10th, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. That will be a hybrid in-person and online meeting. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good one.
Thank you.